Okay, so I was saying that the first thing we have to clean up this data so that at least we can remain with a data which are good to do some few analysis. So I will select from the column, that is column row 4, and then I press F5. If you press F5, you get this small table. Then you go to special. From there, you click the blank and then click OK. So the empty columns will be selected. And then we click Control negative. Control negative, we get the delete option. So you want to delete the entire column. You want to delete the entire column. So I will click OK or enter. So I've now deleted the empty columns and the other one, which I don't want, but we can remain with that. And then from there, we can now put the borders. So it is good to put the borders so we can say, oh, we are not at the beginning. Yeah. This is the running balance, even though we don't want the running balance. Yeah, so this running balance we can put 0. Don't want the running balance. Or even we can delete this, the first column. And then here we can put this one 0. So that we have our running balance there. Then we put now borders, controlled. Then after that, controlled page down, shift page down, control page down, nimekataa kuselect, control shift page down. Select this, control shift page down. So control shift page down, they will select everything, and then we put here borders. Now we have borders with our data. So from this one, now we can use the pivot table to just analyze our data. Even though pivot table is not a good one, it is not automatic. There is a one to which they are launching, but they have not released. There is the one which will come to replace the pivot called group by. I think when that is out, then we will be no longer using the pivot. Be no longer using the pivot. So once you put your borders in your pivot table, then you leave your cursor inside your data, and then you go to insert recommended, or can we use the recommended? Yeah, or we can use this one from the table range. So from the table range, I may select mpaka wapi. We can cancel this. The cursor. So we can select our range. Is not picking the range which, so we can see the last one here is A253. That is the last one is A253. So we can, so that we can select our range A2152 from 2152 from A5. So go to insert a pivot and learn to the range. We can put our range here. It is from A. We just write here A5. From A5. From A5. Just repeat that. No, this one is 252. You can see FA5 to H 2152. Yeah, now they have, you can see the surrounded dotted line, and then it will ask you just where you want the pivot table to be placed. You want to place in a new worksheet. So we can open a new worksheet here and then click OK. So you realize your data has been pasted in a new worksheet. So sheet 1, this one we can name a data so that we don't confuse. And then sheet 2, then now it depends, what do you want to analyze? What do you want to analyze? What do you want to analyze? Then so if you look at our sheet here, let's say more table. It's not picking the headings. So let's go back to that data. Because if you look at this data, we have the general ledger. This data will not help us to do analysis. So I think they have picked from where? Because we need the headings. That could be good. So I think we will insert a new one. We can delete this one. And then now we insert a pivot table. A pivot table from that is A. So this one now will be A what? A4. A4 to H252, and then we can fixed FN4 to fixed. And in kata, but you can use that, and then to new worksheet. Yeah, so now if you look at our headings here, it is now something which is understandable. So maybe now we want to check you have been asked, if you look at our data here, it is a kind of, this is an account receivable. So maybe you have been asked, can I know how many people have been paid through the M-Pesa, the ones which are paid through the bank, and also the ones which are paid the withholding taxes? So you have to do analysis based on that scenario. So the ones which they are paid through the cash, the ones which they are paid through the M-Pesa, and the ones which they are paid through checks. So even though now, me, I don't, I just show you this pivot table. So if you like it, you can use it. But with the other functions, you can even analyze it without using the pivot table. So here, what the kind of payment, it is in a split column. So the payment was split column, because you can see if this one is bank, so all the banks utapata kuna za direct debit which you only know through the memo, but we want to filter with the banks, M-Pesa, the cash, hivyo tu. So I go back to sheet 4. So I think I will select split. Just a minute. So split is this one. So we can drag split in which side? In a column. So you click that split, drop it in a column. Yeah. So if you click that, utapata imekuwa filtered in what? In row. So utapata we have cash, we have the contra. Contra is the one for VAT. Maybe they paid the certificate, the equity. This is the bank. And then we have another one here, which these are uncategorized. We don't know. This is split nigani. So this is split nigani. So the split, it means these are invoices. So if you look at here, the split are invoices. So it means we don't need the split. So you can come here and unfilter the split, unfilter the split and click OK. So now we have this. And then also you realize that we have two undeposited fund dollars and the other ones, which they are all checks. So after that, we need now the values here. We need the sum. So we need the sum there. So which is the sum equal the amount. So this the sum equal amount column. It is in the amount column. So you go back again. Amount column also we will put on the same. So if you put on the same line here, if you put just down below that, utapata itakuja in a wrong way. If you put here down here, let's say you are dragging this, or this one, put it here. I think there is a problem with here. You can see if you put down to there, you can see the kind of a data you are getting. Utapata we have cash, then they will list for you cash down there. So which is not good. So we can remove that. So to remove it, you just long press and then you move your cursor in the empty space here. So if you leave the cursor here, it will find that they will what? It will disappear. It will disappear. So we can go back again, move the split in this column. And then amount, we can paste in values. So utapata now, these are what? The sum. The sum. So instead of sum, you can rename it. You can rename it here, or you can go to the custom field. You can go to the custom field and rename. So there is no problem. You can rename it here. Just write amount. You can see the field name already exists. We can say this is Kenya shillings, so that we don't have the duplicates amounts in Kenya shillings. Yeah. And then instead of labels here, instead of labels, you can rename to accounts. You can rename to accounts. Yeah. And then remember, these are negative. These are negatives. It is payment. That's why they are negatives. So you can apply the formatting here, the way we use the formatting. You can select these and go to what? So you can do the filter. You can do the formatting the way we format the data. So you can click this one. Your data will be formatted. And also, you can apply the formula here. Instead of this, you can go to the custom field. So if you click here, if you click this small argon here, you'll be able to see the field, the setting field. So maybe I can click the first, I click this amount here, and then click this part, that small drop argon, then to go to the field setting. So from that field setting, you can get the count, the sum, but we don't want that. And then so that is numbers, and then there is numbers format here. So you can format here, but it is the same. Format huko na ukuje huku format. So you find that it is the same, but so whichever the one tumepick, so unaweza enda uedit huko juu ama uedit through that column, or you edit through that column. Okay, so maybe you can change now this one because these are payment to, you can multiply by jaribu kuclick ina pop up. So maybe you can add another one to remove this. If it is to remove this, you just go to those field, maybe hapo kwa C, and then filter. Then you can add a new value. Sisi nakataa kuja active. So maybe it can remain, because this one we put in that font. Okay, and that so unapata this pivot table. Ukitaka kutengeneza dashboard, ukishatengeneza hivi, you can insert the charts, which you go to the pivot table analysis. So if you go to pivot table analysis, you'll be able to check the pivot chart. So you'll be able to know the pivot chart. So if you click that pivot chart, itakuja easy automatic. So unaweza select unataka kutumia pie chart, which I can see this one is good. And then, or the histogram. So we have so many here. We have so many. So you can select each and click OK. So ukipata OK, then you will customize it. Here you can say instead you can say payments. Instead of totals, you can say payments. You can say payments, and here we can see if you spread kidogo here, you can't have M-Pesa, all the bank and all the deposited, so that at least we have all the data. Yeah, so we have all the data under the split here, and also you can be filtering here, can be filtering there. And then this one also you can't label. You can't label that one here. So you can still use the labels here to label your data, the data labels, and you can see. And then that data labels can select the style of your chart here. The one which is more, I think this one is looking good. Yes. Oh, no. It is looking good, but they have a lot of information mixed. Again, I think this one is good. Even though there's a lot of data inside part of this. About this, what of this? There is a lot of data, even though this one you can't move it, but it will not appear. So I think we can remain with the same. Without inserting these undo, let's undo. Undo. Until we get the original one. Yeah, I think this one is now good. You can easily see, and then here you can select the color. You can put the color. Tunaweza ika color gani? Hiyo iko is now kuchagua color, sijuangi color inapenda. So you can put the color inafanana na data. I think that one is looking good. And then this data, we can move it to the center of the box that way. Also, this one you can move it in the center, and also you can reduce a bit. It will not be visible. This one, it is in the center, that one is in the center. And maybe also click that and click Control. Click this. Then we need to be in a bold. So Control B. So utapata zote in a bold. And then we can select the color here. So maybe we want, is it white will be okay? Red. Yeah, I think red is now more visible, and that we can reduce this one here so that it is not too far. So this is now one of the payment analysis here. Payment. This is analysis of payment. So when presenting, you don't need even to be presenting this data. So the data which you will be presenting is this data. So you'll find that you will prepare a dashboard. You prepare a dashboard which you copy this payment. So the payment you will copy there. So this one we can pull to this. Bold. And then maybe we can now have, so we can call this one to payment.